Welcome to a Business Minute with Lily Lopez, presented by the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Today, we are at the Port of Miami, one of the most beautiful ports in the world. The skyline cannot be more pretty, and the sky is blue, the sun is out. It's a chilly day, but we're very happy because we're a very dear friend of ours is here with us today. And she is Janet Piñeiro. She's been a member for many, many years and a friend, and she is an entrepreneur. But I want to start talking about her life and how she started her company, which I know is Cruiseport Destination, but I know it has another name. But I want her to give her history because we're very proud as a Chamber of Commerce to have her as a member. She's been in business for so many years, and what she's done is an amazing job with hundreds of employees. I know this is a difficult time, and she'll go through the history of what's happening with the pandemic and her business, but we know that everything is going to be back to normal. Economy's going to be thriving, and we have to stay positive. So now I'm going to turn it over to her because I know I can talk a lot, but this is Janet's moment. So Janet Piñeiro, ladies and gentlemen. Janet, it's such a privilege to be here with you today. So tell me a little bit about your background. You're a lady that I admire so very much, and actually you're receiving an award from the Chamber.
I know.
The Women Empowering and Embracing Women Awards.
I know. I'm very grateful for that. But I actually wanted to start by saying thank you, because throughout this whole time, throughout the whole pandemic, you and your team have kept us connected. And that is extremely important for our community during this time. So basically, I actually want to thank you, because every time I receive one of those emails or one of your minutes, it's so amazing to have you do what you've done. So thank you so much. I know it's been a lot of hard work, so thank you for that.
Thank you. That means so much to me. Coming from you, thank you.
Thank you. So yes, the name of my company is actually America's Gateway Inc., DBA, Cruiseport Destinations. The reason I chose that name is because Miami is the gateway to the Americas. And being so that I love Miami, Miami is a city where I was born and raised.
Mercy Hospital?
Mercy Hospital. And it means a lot because my parents left Cuba back in 1960, and in 61 they came in two phases. And actually, my family already had a family. There were four almost adults. My oldest brother was 28 when I was born.
Okay.
My mother was turning 49, and she actually went to Mercy thinking it was menopause, and instead it was me.
Janet the star.
But so we lived in Little Havana the entire time, and I love this city. This city is amazing to me. I started in my career actually when I was 14 years old as an embarkation agent for Carnival Cruise Lines.
Okay.
And it was like a fun thing for young adults to actually get involved in such an industry that was starting. That was it's such a pretty, hospitality is just a beautiful industry.
It's number one industry for the state of Florida.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I was very lucky because we had a lot of help. So we had people from Conchita Espinosa and from La Salle that helped us to get all my brothers and sisters, myself, get us, finalized and educated. I was able to get into the University of Miami while working at Carnival, and it was.
So you've been all over. You've been in all the cruise lines.
It was a lot of fun. Carnival was my training ground, and then from there I started working at Royal Caribbean. Right. I worked at Royal Caribbean to 2006, and started my company 13 years ago.
So tell us about your company.
Okay.
How did that come about?
So I love cruise lines and I love hotels. Right. Hotels to me are also anything having to do with hospitality is very important. What I studied was international relations. And in Miami, the city, this county and this city is so diverse and is so full of energy, and it's because of its people. It's so diverse that even though I am not like the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, which was my goal when I was little, at least I deal with all nationalities, with all the cruise lines and all the crew members and all the guests that come into our beautiful city.
And that's what makes us unique, right? Makes Miami one of the nicest, most beautiful cities in the U.S.
In the entire world. The Port of Miami being the biggest, actually the Port of Miami last year welcomed 6.8 million guests, and probably about 1.5, if not more, million crew members. So what my company does is logistics of everything.
Okay.
One of the things that we were blessed with is that we were able to win the award to get our embarkation for Terminal A, the beautiful terminal right down here, where Royal Caribbean greeted the largest ship in the world at the time, the Symphony of the Seas. So we do embarkation for Royals, Celebrity, Azamara, and we also have the benefit of doing crew member movements for for a lot of the cruise lines, for Norwegian, they're all beautiful, Norwegian, MSC, Carnival. I mean, it's wonderful.
Celebrity.
Yes. They're all amazing. Crystal. So to us, it's very, very dear to our heart because we love to see all the crew members that come from all over the world that depend on this beautiful industry in our beautiful city. As you know,
tell me now what has happened. Exactly.
So, as you
tell
know,
me.
we've had this pause in cruising.
And since March, you told me you closed.
We closed the office.
Okay. And how has it been? And everything that you've done.
It's been very, very challenging because we had about 325 part-time employees. A lot of them, 80% of that staff is young people like me when I was in high school, because I believe in doing good things for our community and getting the kids indoctrinated into hospitality.
Exactly. Like we do through our foundation, the Chamber Foundation. Yeah, that's what we do. We provide paid internships and our education enhancement program in a partnership with Southwest Airlines. So we're very much in tune with what you like and what we like in the Chamber and what we do, because it's so important to teach the young students to learn, and that's where they get that's where you got your base.
Well, that's where that's really my education was really. It really came from the cruise industry.
Exactly.
And to me, it's been very sad having to have 320 part-timers.
Exactly.
Not having anything to do. And in addition to that, a great group of individuals that are retired that needed it to supplement their
of course
their benefits,
their life benefits,
and that they loved it, because hospitality is something that
very rewarding.
Everybody loves to know, and smiling when people go on a cruise, everything is like they're on vacation. So it's really a beautiful industry, and to me it's been very, very sad because this industry brought me hope.
Exactly.
And right now, what I would love more than anything is for this industry to start as quickly as possible, because this city needs hope.
And Janet, the losses have been tremendous, right?
Right.
The numbers. You have the numbers, right? I remember when you gave me the numbers, because I was going to do a radio show and I called you immediately and you gave me a lot of numbers that I was able to provide. Like $1.4 billion directly and indirectly that we lose from the loss. From the loss of this cruise industry.
The economic loss is huge, and the work loss is huge. The Port of Miami actually provides business for about 349,000 people. Now, the city of Miami has about 489 residents. The county has 2.9 million. But a lot of people are affected directly or indirectly by the workers. Down, of course. But not just the workers, the airport, the Miami International
Airport, the tour buses,
the
taxis, the restaurants, everything.
The restaurants, the shopping.
This affects us all.
Well, and the hotel industry, big time, because when people go on a cruise, normally everyone from the outside, which is really a huge number, it's about almost 5 million people, come through the port of Miami, the airport, and stay in Miami.
I mean, at least a couple nights, right?
At least a couple of nights. Well, CLIA has all these numbers on their website, cruising.org. They have all their numbers, which they spend close to $290 in hotel accommodations, about $110 per person in restaurants and shopping. So the economy
is hurting.
The economy is hurting. We have everything from, a direct to even indirect. Like the lady that comes and sells roses at the Port of Miami.
Exactly.
I talked to her yesterday and she was like, We are paralyzed. This city is paralyzed. She lives in Homestead. So to me, we need to get cruising back on.
We do.
Now,
we do.
we're very grateful that the CDC gave us that opportunity in lifting the no sale order. But what a lot of people don't know is that the requirements are huge. Now,
Like what, for example?
okay,
Briefly.
so the cruise lines have to do a series of tests,
Of
which
course,
we already.
of course.
By the way, Royal Caribbean. In Terminal A and everywhere in South Florida, we were taking temperature checks in February. We were already asking for their, if they had all these if they had all these conditions. So even before the government mandated anything, the cruise lines are very, very mindful of
course.
everything because they don't want anyone sick on board.
Absolutely.
So I just know that in addition to that, they have to do like certain hospitals and facilities, they have to test everybody. But in addition to that, the cruise lines have to be under like a test for 60 days, which is why Royal Caribbean, I know, has over 100,000 people wanting to go on a cruise for free, which is called, their...
I didn't know that.
Yes. So they're actually going on a cruise and they're going to be evaluated for 60 days, meaning the cruise lines are not going to get any money at all for 60
just
days
to see
until
what
the
happens,
CDC
right?
certifies ship by ship.
Okay. And these people that are going for free, they're like
they're
like guinea pigs.
Yeah, but
basically
they've all volunteered.
Volunteered, exactly.
We have millions of people. See, one thing I've continually said throughout this process: the cruise lines are stricter than restaurants and than many entertainment places all over the country and all over the world. Right?
I'm a cruiser, so I know.
But the cruise lines have been taking safer measures for a very, very long time. If you, as an individual in this country, do not want to go to a restaurant because you don't feel safe, don't go.
But don't prohibit other people from going. Exactly.
If you want to go on a cruise, go. Especially because...
Young people, right. Like children, it's proven, 0%.
Right.
Young people don't get sick. I mean, even the COVID. So you have to be tested. And I bet they're going to do so many tests and so many precautions. I think it's going to be so well done.
I think so.
I'm positive that it's going to be so well done.
I'm very sure that it will. I am hopeful. We are all hopeful.
We're hopeful because they want to take care of people. Nobody wants anybody to get sick.
So
we don't want anybody to get sick. We take a lot of precautions at our chamber events, and we've done 4 live events. Nobody's gotten sick. We keep the social distancing, the mask. I mean, the food is served and covered. They want uncovered until it's time for you to eat. So it's up, but you want the economy to continue.
You need it
its
because
course.
as far as I'm concerned, the hopelessness is doing more harm.
Yes.
I know for my
and
employees,
the mental health.
I know for my employees, we actually, unfortunately, had someone that I know personally, people that have had heart attacks in my team. We lost a person due to stress because of a heart attack, because of no job, no future.
So we need a balance. We need
to bring back hope to this beautiful city, which is the gateway of the Americas.
Yes, it is.
And we need to bring back cruising, which I am hopeful again is going to happen in the first quarter, hopefully sooner.
And with all the precautions, I mean, we always want to send that message out because sometimes people criticize. We are very cautious. It's just that we want the economy to keep growing. We don't want this important industry.
We need our people. We want our people to have hope.
And jobs.
Hope and jobs. Jobs. With jobs, they have hope.
Exactly.
So this industry has been so beautiful and it's been paralyzed for so long. And to me,
9 months. It's 9 months.
This is what formed me as much as it formed our city.
And this is Miami.
This is Miami.
This is Miami. When you come to Miami, the first thing you think of is the cruises and the Port of Miami.
The Port of Miami.
Oh, Janet. Well, it's so nice to have you here today at a Business Minute with Lily Lopez. We are really so pleased to have you as a member, and I admire you, what you've done as an entrepreneur, as a Hispanic woman, Cuban American, and gosh, and your mom that brought you to this world when she was 49. I love that story.
Thank you.
Oh, she's so proud of you. She should be.
Thank you.
So thank you so much all for tuning in, and I'll see you then next week in another Business Minute with Lily Lopez.
away, does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel at the end of the day? Are you sad cause you're on your own? I don't get sad no more. If I would need help from my friends, oh, I'm gonna try with little help from my friends. Oh.
This is Yendi Alvarez for 90 Seconds of Tech. Miami is the cruise capital of the world, and before COVID hit, the industry held 150,000 jobs in Florida and $7.7 billion in wages, according to a study by Cruise Lines International Association. Now, with that thought, I'm just as anxious as you are to get out and see the world, not only to have a good time, but to support Florida jobs and economic growth. Today, I'm going to cover the app Cruise Shipmate, which is available for your Apple and Android devices. Shipmate is the only cruise app you can use before, during, and after your cruise, and it works for every cruise line. You can save and share your entire cruise and learn everything you need to know about your upcoming sailings. You can find so much content for your cruise ships and ports. Get to know your vessel top to bottom with detailed deck maps and your user-submitted pictures. You can plan out port stops before you set sail with user tips and reviews so you can make the most of your time ashore and even book your excursions and tours through the app. Meet fellow cruisers with roll calls for your specific sailing and check prices and find discount deals. You can even set price alerts. There's also a countdown to your cruise feature, and you can see what's happening live on your ship with deck cams. Now, what makes this app really cool is that you can write a review for your cruise and share your experience with the world. And with over 2 million downloads, that means those are real people with real reviews on that cruise ship. The app is powered by cruiseline.com. This is Yendi Alvarez for 90 Seconds of Tech, reminding you to set sail in 2021.